Hi guys, I haven't done a reading for you guys for a while, but we are approaching All Hallows Read, and you guys know how much I love All Hallows Read. I really wanted to make the first book that I introduced to you guys something that I really love, something that was easily available, and something that you guys probably haven't heard of before. So in, I believe it was 2010, there was this movie came out called John Carter, and nobody, like, it tanked. It fully tanked at the box office, and part of it is because it was marketed really poorly. It wasn't marketed for what it was. And so a lot of people are like, John Carter, what's that about? It's actually a really great movie, and I do recommend you go out and watch it, if not read this novel that it's based on. It's based on a novel called Princess of Mars, which they should have called the movie, by Edgar Burroughs, who wrote Tarzan. It was written at a really fascinating time for science fiction. It was sort of at its birth. It was written at a time when we were sort of finished colonizing America, and we being the Western world, not, Australians or anything. And we'd sort of made our way through the jungle, and we were kind of like, well, we've kind of conquered a few frontiers, and there's nothing really more to conquer. But these great westerns, these great adventure stories, and these epics happen when we're not in our comfort zone, so maybe we need to look somewhere else. And started pushing it on, and you see that idea in Tarzan, that science fiction of the child left behind and how he adapted and grew and developed, which is really interesting in his novels as well as in the movies. So that's Edgar Rice Burroughs, and he's sort of written this story about this guy who had these amazing experiences. It is a science fiction novel. It's probably one of the first really brilliant science fiction novels. It's amazing. It's written so contextually, beautifully written in the first person, which is so hard to do with science fiction, and still accessing all this science, and I could rave about it for ages. Probably the most challenging thing is that it was written so long ago that some of the language forms can be a bit funny. I'm only going to read you the first page of the novel if you had the book in front of you. I downloaded my copy for free off Project Gutenberg, so you guys can do that too. So free book. It's amazing. It does have its scary parts, which is part of the reason I'm including it for All Hallows Read. But it's actually really interesting. I was really engaged. I was more engaged with this than I thought that I would be. So, I highly recommend you guys go check it out. And I'm going to read the first page because I have already waffled for, 3 minutes? Yeah. You guys are used to me by now, I'm sure. So, chapter 1. Oh, I'm not reading the foreword, by the way, which there is, which is part of what makes this novel amazing, is the foreword. So please go and the foreword. I don't know how you say that anymore. Go read that as well, because that's really interesting. And anyway, back to this. I'm so sorry, guys. I could talk about this forever. I love science fiction. I love its inception. I love the whys and the hows of how it came about. And Edgar Rice Burroughs just did such an amazing job, and he should be lauded, and I don't know why he has not been thus far. Alright, so, On the Arizona Hills, chapter 1. Here we go. I am a very old man. How old, I do not know. Possibly I am 100, possibly more. But I cannot tell. I have never aged as other men, nor do I remember any childhood. So far as I can recollect, I have always been a man of about 30. I appear today as I did 40 years and more ago, and yet I feel that I cannot go on living forever, that some day I shall die, the real death from which there is no resurrection. I do not know why I should fear death, I who have died twice and am still alive, but yet I have the same horror of it as you who have never died, and it is because of this terror of death, I believe, that I am so convinced of my mortality. And because of this conviction, I have determined to write down the story of the interesting periods of my life and of my death. I cannot explain the phenomena. I can only set down here in the words of an ordinary soldier of fortune a chronicle of the strange events that befell me during the 10 years that my dead body lay undiscovered in an Arizona cave. I have never told this story. nor shall mortal man see this manuscript until after I have passed over for eternity. I know that the average human mind will not believe what it cannot grasp, and so I do not purpose being pillared by the public, the pulpit, and the press, and held up as a colossal liar when I am but telling the simple truths which some day science will substantiate. Possibly the suggestions which I gained upon Mars and the knowledge which I can set down in this chronicle will aid in an earlier understanding of the mysteries of our sister planet. Mysteries to you, but no longer mysteries to me. My name is John Carter. I am better known as Captain Jack Carter of Virginia. At the close of the Civil War, I found myself possessed of several $100,000 Confederate and a captain's commission in the cavalry of an army which no longer existed, the servant of a state which had vanished with the hopes of the South. Masterless, penniless, and with my only means of livelihood, fighting, gone, I determined to work my way to the southwest and attempt to retrieve my fallen fortunes in a search for gold. Which is where I will leave it. Because it goes on in that vein in 1866 for just a little bit too long for me to read through to get to the fun science fiction-y stuff. But that was a really cool intro, was it not? Don't you want to read it? Don't you want what happens? Don't you want to know what the mysteries of the sister planet are? Ooh. No, just me? Alright then. Well, yeah, I do hope you go and read it. And comment if you have read it, and if you've seen the movie and if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Yeah, I'm always up for a conversation about adaptation, and I could talk for hours about the adaptation of this novel into the movie and vice versa. But yeah, they're both awesome. Watch them both. Like, watch the movie, read the book. And yeah, Edgar Rice Burroughs, amazing visionary author who just, blows my mind. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a really awesome day and that you like me reading stuff to you, because I'm hoping to do this about once a week from now on. I've tried a few different vlogging types and I'm just shit at editing, and so it's always going to be one-shots, and I know this, and I am not brilliant at talking at the camera. I go on these rants that I'm currently going on right now, and it's just not happening. But I do want to record more YouTube videos, and this is what I'm passionate about. So I'm going to read the first page of books on YouTube and sort of introduce them to you. I don't know why this is something that people will watch, but this is something that I would watch if someone else does it. So this is what I am doing. Yeah. I am really sorry about this video, guys. But yeah, do read John Carter. Read Princess of Mars. It's John Carter. Project Gutenberg, if I remember, I will, put the link below to the Project Gutenberg so you can just download it. You'll need to download Adobe Digital Editions to read it in Project Gutenberg. But free books, guys! Free books! Alright.